Rich spent a number of years, yes, outstanding, a number of years tolerating me. He has been the head coach of our outstanding swim team here for 26 years. Two of my kids were members of his team for 12 years, from 2011 through 2023. I was the president of the team for more than half of those years, but my journey to being a swim mom and a swim team president didn't start in 2011. In fact, it started just about exactly 48 years ago. My family has been a YMCA family for my entire life. My mom took me to parent and baby swim lessons at the Y in downtown Columbus, Ohio. I was not quite one. I don't remember a whole lot about it, except that once I could walk unassisted, she would have to put my swim floaties on in the locker room, because once I got through the pool door onto the pool deck, I was unstoppable and I was in the water. So she did this as a favor to the lifeguards, I'm sure. Eventually, without the aid of my mom, I continued with swimming lessons at the Y, starting as a polywog and going all the way up through porpoise, those of you who remember the Red Cross swimming here at the Y. We moved from downtown Columbus to the Chicago suburbs when I was 5, and my parents found another Y, Governor State YMCA. That was where we had all of our family's sports and fitness activities. When I was little, all of my sports activities happened at the Y. In fact, so much that my mom got her lifeguard certification, she got her lifeguard instructor certification, and eventually became the aquatics director at our YMCA. She figured if she was going to be there so often, she may as well work and help develop the programs there at the same time. And if we're being honest, the YMCA's programs were pretty instrumental in my development. In particular, my first, and let me be specific, my only ballet and tap dance class was at the YMCA. Those poor instructors, they did their very best. They spent an entire session, a very long 8 weeks, trying to teach me a modicum of grace. But alas, they very delicately informed my parents that I should try an activity where I would be less prone to falling down. So, back to the pool I went. And that was a good thing for everyone. Anyway, I didn't know it at the time, but in retrospect, I realized that my parents were pretty intentional about starting these sports programs at the Y. I think it had to do with the demonstration of its core values: caring, honesty, respect, responsibility, and inclusion. And even though it wasn't until 1994 that the YMCA defined its first 4 core values, and then more recently added its 5th, I know that the culture at the YMCA has always exemplified these values. My parents knew it, and I learned it, much of it as a result of the way the YMCA programs were run. When I really think about those core values, it really just boils down to a single fundamental concept: family. Family is all about caring, honesty, respect, responsibility, and inclusion. It's where you can be your true self, be supported, valued as the person that you are, and, importantly, it's where everyone shares in the work and development of our family members. Governor State YMCA and the YMCA swim team there, they were the Sharks, was an extended part of our family for many years. I, like my kids, joined the swim team shortly after the disastrous ballet class, and I remained on that swim team until I graduated from high school. This is another wonderful characteristic about YMCA sports, and particularly about swimming. And while this probably sounds like a huge plug for swimming, and who are we kidding, of course, it's a huge plug for swimming, the YMCA swimming culture is pretty unique. Kids start when they're young. My daughter Casey over there started when she was 5, and had the opportunity to stick with the same swim team family for years, longer than any other sport, any class, any club, or any troop. The friends that I made on the Shark swim team are people that I still keep in touch with over 30 years later. By comparison, I keep in touch with far fewer people from high school. I even keep in touch with the head coach of my swim team, the parents of my former teammates. It's pretty unusual, I admit, but I know that the real difference is the YMCA culture built a family for me. How? Well, the YMCA calls its members to be invested in its programs, not just by participating, volunteered at YMCA Camp Duncan in northern Chicago. Later, I moved to Michigan for college, and I settled down here in Farmington Hills. I got married. My husband and I would join the Farmington YMCA, and we started building a new YMCA family. It started with early morning lap swim, where I connected with a few master swimmers. I still swim every morning, or almost every morning. Believe it or not, I also tried taking a judo class. I confirmed that nothing has changed, and I should stay in the pool. When my kids got old enough, when they were about 9 months old, they needed a place to learn to swim, so we came to the YMCA. After lessons, we'd stay for family swim, swim in the Robertson pool because it's a little bit warmer. My boys played basketball in July. All 5 of my kids spent many summer weeks going to the YMCA summer day camp. And every YMCA experience that we had connected us more with the people here. We started volunteering at events, investing in the community, and investing in our family. As my kids got older, and in particular our youngest two, it became clear that too many of my clumsy on-land genes were dominant. This is a sadness for my husband. He's right over here, he's 6'8", and he had secretly hoped we could have some basketball players. So when my kids showed an interest in, or perhaps just a default safe tendency toward swimming, I was very intentional about picking a YMCA swim team. I want to be clear, there are lots of swim teams around here, okay? But I wanted one that would be a family for us to join, not just a swim team. So we joined the Stingrays, and we started connecting with and truly investing in our new family. And how? Just like my parents did. We both became swimming officials. I became a meet director, and I eventually served as the president. And for what? My kids have had a lot of great swims, sure. But the YMCA has facilitated so much more than just athleticism. With the support of our outstanding coaches and our volunteer parents, my kids have become better humans, fully understanding what caring, honesty, respect, responsibility, and inclusion really means. We've all had amazing memories, formed irreplaceable friendships, and we've become part of a forever family. And, okay, I'll maybe only say this once. It doesn't have to be about swimming. Don't tell anybody I said that, I will deny it. But truly, the YMCA culture is much bigger than that. And my family story is just one story. We all have different stories, and that's okay, families are like that. We're all different. Every family is made up of a lot of very different characters, especially if you're from my family. And each of us brings something special, something that we all need. Organization, athleticism, craftiness, humor, compassion, enthusiasm, whatever you have, bring it and invest it at the YMCA. I encourage all of you to invest with your time, with your talents, and of course with your treasure, to support the efforts of our staff and our volunteers, and programs at the YMCA that have built the foundation of such an amazing family. I promise there is no greater return on an investment in our